things happen in content, but one of my favourite moments in content history is gaining a friendship. One of my best mates in the world, Lekdog. It's always a pleasure doing a show with you. We don't do enough of them, but how are you, mate?
Well, that's very kind, man. I appreciate you as a friend as well. It's been
Thought you were
I
going to
don't
say
know
it's
how
a
many years
content
now.
creator and break my heart.
Um, we just kind of luck a dogged it, didn't we? We just happened to do some stuff. Like, I don't even know. Terry must have just said we both like fantasy football or something, and then we just became friends. I don't even remember how it happened.
I think we're both nerds.
Well, yeah, we
And we
know
just
that.
got, you know what I mean? And instead of getting like de-kegged like you did at school, they just paired us up together.
Yeah, true. But yeah, no, we're back. We're back. This is the best time of year, mate. This is where we get to talk about all the players who are going to change everyone's lives.
Change lives. Well, we've got loads to get through today. We've got the Carlton links. We've got the Sam De Koning links to St Kilda. We've got North trade chaos. We've got delistings galore. That's all started. Quick vibe check with chat. How does everyone feel about this new thing that the AFL has added, that they interview a guy just after he's been sacked?
It's elite bants, isn't it? That's exactly what I want if I ever get sacked, to immediately have a camera shoved in my face.
Yeah. Like, do we not feel we're going way too far with media? Like I know we want the early access, but like I really did feel sorry for the Port boys who were interviewed, because like some of them looked like that is their dreams ripped apart at their seams, and they've got some spotty faced teenager asking, "Is your dad going to be disappointed now?" Like,
It's
sick.
it's generally like, it's not the guys earning $700 to $1 million a year that are getting delisted. It's the guys on a rookie contract getting 80K, and he's just been cut, and he doesn't know anything else, and like, it doesn't, like, he's not getting on another list. Why are we interviewing him?
Yeah, look, the AFL sort it out, please, because I am absolutely sick of it. But we've got a load to get through. We're going to start with, helps if I bring this up. Here you are. Look at this guy, Charles Edwards. You asked about delisted free agents and players like that. We will get on to them, my friend Braden. But Charlie Edwards is a guy that's name won't go away. I am calling him 2026's version of Lachlan Shaw. I am going to predict I will do draft trade profiles of this guy for the next 5 years. But Charlie Edwards, who is he? He's an inside-out midfielder. Think Jack Carroll with a deadly kick. Only played the 2 senior games in 2026. Awkward size, 191. Elite running capacity as well. You can see here our draft value as him as basically a reduced contract leverage, so a third rounder, basically next to nothing. You can see some interesting names here that will surprise here. Everyone's around this. It's a punt, but West Coast always come out quite high in these scales. Port Adelaide, they're redeveloping their midfield. Richmond, another team looking for a runner with the query of maybe someone like Ryan Mansell, but would be a real good proposition. What's everyone's vibes on this type of guy?
Yeah, Charlie Edwards is an interesting one. I drafted him in a dynasty league in his draft year, so just sort of have kept an eye on him. They played him behind the ball at different times this year in the Sandful, and he was able to accumulate a fair bit. Having said that, that is the place you go to accumulate. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy. Like, honestly, like, there's some upside, but he is just a guy. To be fair.
Well, I mean, these are the trades that I know we all get excited about it, and also shout out Double Dummy and Shane. I've got you some extra special merch, Sean. I've got you one as well because you won it last year. Reverse camera. Got some extra special merch, so stay tuned for that. Slide into my DMs, my 3 favourite human beings. But these are the ones. I know we get excited by your Zach Butters of this world and things like that. These are the guys that will fill up your trade week.
Yeah. I mean, he's 21. He's played some senior football. He was a first-round draft pick way back when. He has shown some form at sample level. I'm sure that he'll pop up. At least he'll be a SSP sort of top-up train-on player for someone. Yeah, I mean, these are the sort of guys, if I was a list manager, I'd probably take a punt on. The guys that are just slightly more developed than like an 18-year-old. But yeah, like I don't think he's going to smash any doors down, but he's all right. He's okay.
Hey, do you know what I mean? Hey, Guy, just a host, just a YouTuber. I've got to say, that is the greatest. Can I just say, if I was an AFL footballer, I would one day want to be called just a player.
Yeah.
Just a player.
Just a guy.
Just a guy. Just a guy. You know what? I don't mind Charlie Edwards. I think for a third, I do it. They're the types of guys that just top up your list. And if they go well, don't they? Like it, and it's going to cost you fuck all. Like in this draft, I'm going to be honest, any pick after 50 is a dart throw. And the next year after that, if you can get any talent in for a future third, I would rather have a 20-year-old than an 18-year-old. I'm going to be totally honest.
I think, yeah. I mean, he's out of contract. They might trade him for a third, but he'll probably end up moving just as a delisted player. I do see him being on a list, like a one-year deal next year somewhere. But yeah, there's not too much we can really talk about him, to be honest with you.
No, look, fair enough. But the other trade that has been pandered, and I want to do this one, is Young Cow Toomey, right? So Young Cow Toomey. Now, if you go back to my mock draft calculator, I did some speculative trades. Honestly, with little to no thought, to be honest. It was just to try and get first rounders to move. I didn't really care about the value, but I did put the idea into your head. Lewis, will come on to Zane. He is on the run sheet, mate. That I think pick 5 will be traded, right? Now, before anyone comes at me, I want to just make something clear. Yes, you get compensation for pick 5, which will be about pick 23, 24, 25 come the draft night, right? But let's think about it logically. Who cares? Like, this is what I want to get through people's heads. You don't, like, it's not an essential because you can't trade it before. It only becomes active night 2. So that's going to get you a pick outside of the top 20. It's not going to be like you could trade it to trade pick 8. It's going to be, you'll get it night 2 when the first pick will be 25. If I think North will be open to trade it because I don't think they're in a market for top end talent. So let's look at Jordan Ridley. We're looking at a second based on his contract. Now, it comes with a caveat. 50% of his salary minimum is being paid by Essendon for this trade for pick 5. So if you just do the cold hard draft, that is 1,800's worth of points for 800. Roughly pick 15 is what he's going to cost you if you're paying half of his salary, which works out pretty fair because that's going to come down to 800. Over his contract term, you're probably saving about 1.8 million. Now, you look here, it's quite interesting. Hawthorn are a team that might look for medium-sized intercept, West Coast, but North Melbourne there, third destination. And to answer your question, Big Dog Daniel, that is, by the metrics, a team that might today do him. So it's dependent on using a bit of your own intelligence as well. Not taking the piss, but it is like sometimes it will link a team. So I disagree with Hawthorn here. I think they've got a lot of talent. But North in the window, this would look like the type of player. My only reservation with Jordan Ridley at North is this, right? He's not a true key defender.
No.
He's another awkward size. But I will concede, for the talent they've got, their transition football is dog shit.
He's Ridley has talent. He's not a key position defender, so if he got sort of strong-armed into that role, I think he'd struggle. He's 28. He's contracted for another 3 seasons. My biggest issue is this. These last 3 years, 9 games, 10 games, 7 games. He's had 1 season where I think he played every game, 2021. Other than that, he's just continuously injured, which is a risk, and he's expensive. Yeah, this is not someone I'd happily have him on my team if I wasn't paying for him. But if I have to pay his salary, I think he's a massive risk. Massive risk.
Yeah, just to confirm, Caden, North Melbourne, not Melbourne. So North Melbourne, not Melbourne. Just to clarify, in case I said Melbourne, I might have said Melbourne. I don't know. These two teams always annoy me, the fact that we just added a direction in it. But, I mean, look, I agree with you. Like, the thing when I look at Jordan Ridley, great player, and I agree with Tough, but it's that if, isn't it? It's that if. Like, but I will say this. If it's 60%, like Cal Toomey kind of indicated, bare minimum 50, and the report is around $1 million. Let's just say you're paying 500k. 500k is a squad player in today's era, really, if we're honest. You're dropping back 10 picks in the draft. Presumably, you're going to be using that to on trade anyway. I don't think North, contrary to popular belief, are going to target this draft, because looking at the top 10, it's not someone that they want. They definitely are in the market for the today. I reckon a future first gets you Murray, Jordan Ridley. You've got another pick 19 to enter with the draft, but then you've also got another pick to play around with as well. So I actually don't, hate it. To be honest, I don't hate it at that. Yeah, Braden, so like there's different reports. So I'm just going on the Herald Sun. They're saying that Cal Toomey, he said a minimum closer to a higher mark. But if they're playing like, let's just meet in the middle, 75%, I actually don't hate it at that range.
By the way, if I was a list manager, I would never ever pay for my player to play at another club.
It's fucking stupid.
I would never ever do that.
I'm with you, but from a North point of view, like I know North fans will be upset about it, but you can only enter the draft so many times, and I think the big problem with North, I look at Carlton like this. I said this the other day, and I could be wrong. There's nothing I can do to prove it, but I have seen players like Harry Dean come through the system before, go to shit clubs. We've had them before. I have no doubt in my mind Nick Newman and Nick Haynes are 90% of the reason Harry Dean is so AFL ready. And I'll say this, you replace Nick Haynes with Lockie Plowman and you replace Nick Newman with Sam Rowe, dog shit. So
I was actually just thinking about Nick Haynes in this context as well, because he's just someone who always plays.
Yeah, so you see, Kane, I agree, but when you say like Harry Van Hattem, like Tristan Jerry's got a long way to go, and I love Heath Melody. He's my favourite person in the draft. Do North want another bowl user? Like, is that really going to move the needle? I think when I look at your list, I think you need 25 to 30-year-olds who can play tomorrow with experience to guide the next gen in there. And I think it's inverse of Essendon. I think their senior players are what's holding them back. So I think they need to blood youth and go that way. I don't mind this deal. Like, let's just say you are right, Braden, as well. It's 90%. Mental list management from Essendon. However, they have got the cap floor to hit, so I can understand it. But you will be paying almost a rookie wage for a top player if you can get him fit.
Oh yeah, if I'm not paying him, I'll take him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking at their list of defenders. He'd be an upgrade in talent.
Yeah, you know what? If I was looking at this though, I would be. I mean, I wonder, to answer your question, Shane, is this offer? Obviously, this offer is only open to teams in the top 5, you would presume, because it's obvious what Essendon are doing. And I did it in my draft. If Essendon can get Gus Czexera and Archie Butler, game changer. If that's Harry Van Hattem saying they do go a ruckman, which I'm dubious, but if they did, that's huge for Essendon as well. I don't think they get them types of players if it's any other pick. West Coast is linked there as well. And that's a very good segue into what we're calling Mr. Pom.
Mr.
Here
Pom.
he is. Marcus Herbert. Tough. I've got no issue with Ridley. I think he's a fantastic player. I don't know if that's aimed at me. I've never been disparaging of Ridley. I think he's a top player.
He's a
But
good player.
I
His
do think.
contract, yeah, he's contracted for 3 years on a shitload of cash, and he doesn't play football. That's the issue with him. So you've got to be really confident you can convert him into an available player.
So this is a really interesting one, Marcus. So Marcus, if you take out Carlton's Nick Haynes and Mr. Nick Newman, this actually becomes the second biggest priority for Carlton. Now, Marcus Herbert was my selection if Carlton had a mid-season pick. Now, I hate the fact that we went in and bought Flynn Riley. Yeah, because I feel like we've purchased that player because we didn't want anyone else to have him. This guy here is tracking incredibly well. So for a 7.12 role at halfback for a guy that has played this little games is very, very intriguing. You're looking there, look at this lucky 13. So these are the key metrics to win you games, and a lot of them are weighted towards your transition. You're looking at a near perfect score here. You're looking at like, we're talking the upper echelons. Incredible ball user, very good defensively. Now, Carlton have offered 2 years. West Coast have matched that. He has been open that he wants to stay at West Coast because they gave him a chance. Interesting, though, the pull of a Melbourne club, though. Like, he is a Melbourne boy. I would love Marcus Herbert. And I think, for me, outside of key forward, I think that's our biggest priority.
I mean, he's just a guy who can move the ball, in that back line when they roll McCarthy through it, when they've got Josh Lindsay playing a bit more footy. He's actually a really great complement to all of those guys. 11.9 kicks, 10 handballs. He's only just entered the system. He's a fantastic player with upside, and I think his floor, his game style, he's got a really high floor, which is a guy we like. I'd love the Blues to get him, but I don't see West Coast letting him go. Surely.
Well, I mean, this one's going to come down to the player thing. Now, it would be interested. I remember us talking about it, Ampo, as well. I remember talking about it. You know what worries me about it? And this is the question. If Carlton got Marcus Herbert in, would you say that that's them conceding they maybe made a mistake at the mid-season draft when Marcus Herbert was on the table?
Probably, and they're probably having to overpay for him too compared to a mid-season draft pick. But then they could argue, well, no, we didn't know Nick Newman was going to get injured again.
Is that the team as well, just quickly? Because I've got a load of people I'm about to bully in my comment section.
Including
just so
me.
You know. But, yeah, no, I agree with you, Lekdog. Like, I mean, these are the... Look, it's a massive overpay considering that you had him there for free 10 days ago, in football terms.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, thank you very much. It's taken me ages to build. So, like, in the era... This is the first year it's all automated. These are usually 100 spreadsheets, so you are now looking at a visualization of spreadsheets. So, the other Carlton one, a bit of Carlton news to get going. Here he is, the big dog.
Jack Varney named for Melbourne.
We'll smash him, mate. Viney's not even real. But these are interesting here. You'll see here that Carlton here, right, there's a big red mark here. Now, what is the red mark? Now, the red mark here with Jesse Hogan is purely the injury ratio and the fact Carlton have a desperate need. So this is something that would fluctuate should he be fit. But what do we know about Jesse Hogan? When he's fit, he's top 20 in the league. And I don't care what anyone says. If he's fit, what he is needed for, when you think he's a goal hog, he hides in the goal square, perfect fit for Carlton. You'll see here, though, there's some names here that have been linked with him. Now, it's interesting, if you watch my video, I suspected Richmond would be in the window as well. But Gold Coast are there as well. Collingwood are there as well. All confirmed links. Gold Coast as well, when you remove Ben King out of there, he becomes a top 6 priority. Now, Jesse Hogan's going to cost nothing, delisted free agent. I think this is the kind of move that Carlton have to make for mine.
Yeah, I love this one. He has some injury concerns like Ridley, except you'll be paying him nothing and he's not going to be on a long-term contract. He can come in and sit in a goal square. If he kicks 1.5 goals a game, you're laughing. Your team's better. Your structure's better. Imagine him, not exactly the same, but imagine a Carlton lineup with him in the forward line instead of Lewis Young, and with Brodie Kemp, Mitch McGovern sort of as the third and fourth talls. It's a good looking thing. This is Jesse Hogan signing is like classic AFL trade period. It's like what was his name? I'm forgetting his name. Like Chris Dorr. It was a Chris Dawes like moved from Collingwood to Melbourne or whatever it was. It's like your classic key forward who's past his prime moving clubs. Jack Darling from a couple of years ago. These sort of guys moving excites me.
This excites me. Thank you very much, Paul. Member for 43 months. Fuck me. Top 5 relationships, that, mate, for me. I love you, brother. This is, look, like you see here, I'm quite simple with this. Medical him, no trade, no draft pick, no free agency compo to sort out. The cost is purely list space. The contract risk for 12 months. For me, medley protect yourself, heavily protect the contract as well, that there is no extension unless you've played 20 games. And totally agree with you, Old City. I actually totally believe this, that you view him as the backup, as the reserve. You focus elsewhere on getting the guarantee, whether that be through the draft or whatnot, or stick and persevere with McGovern and Kemp. And you just view this as 500k. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we lose nothing. I'm all about this. You'll see here that the past score for him is about 600k this year, which I would be happy paying with Carlton's salary cap for absolutely. A year. And if you can get him across, and I know all the negatives, he doesn't like Melbourne, all that shit. Totally agree. But again, it's a year. It's a year. If it goes Pete Tong, it goes Pete Tong, doesn't it? But and Marty is going to be like 1.3 mil.
Yeah, I'd choose this option every day over Joel and Marty, just for the record. But Pom, I'll just read out the teams for you, mate, because we're a Carlton first family here. Melbourne in, Viney, Melksham the Milkman, and Xavier Taylor out. Joe Lever, Jake Lever, Matt Jefferson, and Christian Slalem. And for the Blues, in Haynes out Dirk.
Can I just say, no Salem turns me on, but you know what does turn me on a lot is that the Pom in me. You know what I'm like? That I like to bag players. I am not backing Melksham because I just fucking know if I do, we'll have a good game. So I'm not even doing it. I'm not even falling for the trap, Melbourne. Not even falling for it. Not well played, Melbourne. I see you. Not falling for it again. But I agree. Look, with Amati, now I'm not disparaged against Amati. I still stand by what I said. Carlton desperately need a key forward. But I feel like this gives Carlton a little bit of negotiation room as well. If they get like a verbal commitment from Hogan, that you can say to Amati, look, you're going to have to drop the figure, bro.
Yeah.
Or loose it so it's front-ended.
Yeah. I just... the Amati thing. I just don't want to pay the price. I don't want to pay the price.
Yeah, I don't. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we haven't got picks to burn, have we? Which, no. I mean, I would rather, and I know Danny will love this, good friend of the channel, I'd rather save our eggs and attack someone like Logan Morris next year.
Yeah.
Like try and get into that market. I agree, Caden. Look, I've played this mistake before. I've learned. But, I mean, would you all agree, though, chat, for Carlton, this is a free swing, innit? Like, the opportunity to sign a Coleman medalist, it's only 2024 as well. You've got the... I mean, look, when did them opportunities come up?
No, I mean, if I was any club in search of a key forward, I'd be cashing in here.
You know what, James? I totally agree as well. Like, I mean, you're a North fan, aren't you, James, from memory? So I totally agree. If you're referring to North, I think getting players now is more important than getting players later. And I think that suits Carlton as well. But then up next, we have got our first confirmed. when I say confirmed deal, kind of confirmed. And Briggs will join, is expected to join Richmond as an unrestricted free agent for 4 years. And you can see here that he was a perfect match, 79 out of 100 for Richmond anyway. Their need obvious, right? They've got Samson Ryan, no disrespect, potentially one of the worst ruckmen I've ever seen. That includes Liam Reedy as well. Toby Nankervis can't go on forever. 4-year term. It's under $1 million, we've been told. But I think this is perfect for Richmond. Someone ready now. I think he is a long-term ruckman. He is number one now. I've got 2 questions for you, Letdog. One, and chat. One, do you like this deal? And number 2, do you think this changes Richmond's target in the draft? Because Briggs for a ruckman in old. So does that mean the Harry Van Hattem link may slide? And if so, does that open an option for some of these early teams to trade down in the draft?
I think Richmond probably still take a pick at the top of the order. Maybe they just adjust who that is. I love this for Richmond. I love Kieran Briggs as an option. Hasn't been super amazing at GWS. I've just pulled up my notes from 2021 on Kieran Briggs. He's a brute of a human. He can play in key defensive roles and take those key defensive intercept marks. Reminds me of Max Gawn style, not talent, when he can contest in the middle and drop behind the ball. And that's what he does. He can just be a big brute of a human, but he does have the marking capacity to sit behind the ball and help save a game. So I think this is a really good investment. It probably means the end of Nank, because I don't see both of them in the same team. Love it. Why not? He's a free hit. Do it. Bring him in.
Mate, I think you've nailed it there. And Sean, I do hear a rumour that look, Gold Coast, it looks like is the favourites, which does concern me, because that would suggest Hogan doesn't want to come here. Paul with the 20 gifted. Thank you so much, mate. Get around our main man, Paul. Give him some love. Thank you so much. Some absolute icons as well have got it.
Hogan's great for Gold Coast too, for the record, for all the same reasons he's great for Carlton.
Hey, do you know what I mean? Thank you so much. But yeah, you'll see here, though, one of the things that is quite interesting here, Best 23 uplift is an 89.9, saying that it massively improves Richmond today. But I want to alert you here as well, which is very good. Projection confidence. Now, the data doesn't always get 100%, but that is basically saying that Kieran Briggs is an absolute must, which is very rare. So Richmond making some moves. I really like that deal, though. Like, I think that that's a deal for now. So I agree with Shane. I actually, and you, Letdog, I actually think you might go Harry Van Hattem as well. Pair them up. A ruckman's not going to be a primary ruckman for 3 years, is he? 3 to 5?
No.
So that's probably about the time Briggs starts to slow down, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a bit like Cooper Duff Tyler at West Coast. They've got Bailey Williams sitting there in the ruck at the moment. They had Matt Flynn on the list. Just build him up over time.
Mate, like, I agree. And so do you know what I mean? I think that just gives them that chance, because I actually think CDT, Cooper Duff Tyler, I actually think he is a better player than Harry Van Hattem, in the terms of that you saw him when he played for Essendon. Toph, you might be able to correct me if I'm making this up, but when he debuted for the VFL team, he absolutely killed it up forward. So you could see there was a secondary role. I would say Cooper Duff Tyler is more suited to playing forward than Harry Van Hattem is day one. So I think it gives them a free hit there, really, with feeding him in. I really like it. I like that deal.
I think Briggs is a really good pickup for Richmond. I really, really dig it.
Mate, I do. And the next bit of Collingwood action here. And this is intriguing. The undersized sensation, Jakey Stringer. He's pretty much out of there. Not delisted. They're still going to look for it, but he is an option for a team evidently wanting to come back to Victoria as well. intriguing proposition is someone like this guy, and you can see here quite a lot of teams linked with him. Lot of teams. Totally agree, Toph. I think you've nailed it. I think you've nailed it. So yeah, I agree as well with you, Pixel. Hey, Andrew, mate, 7 o'clock this morning. This hair got did, mate. Hair got did. But yeah, Jake Stringer. So Jake Stringer, quite a lot of interest around the board. Now it's quite interesting. You'll see Carlton there, Destination 6. The algorithm's picking up that it's not quite sure. What that's telling us is Carlton going to play with one true key. And maybe the Brody Kemp is a design of him and Mitch McGovern, and we're looking for an undersized mobile player. But you'll see Richmond, obviously, development, Port Adelaide, development again, West Coast development. But look at these two teams, Gold Coast and Collingwood, two linked teams. I agree as well, guys. Saints would be an option. I think this is such a... You know what? I hate to say it. I think Collingwood are going to have a fucking ripping off-season window. I think they're going to double down on the over 30s. I really do.
Yeah, he's not your number one key forward. He's your Mitch McGovern if you're a Carlton fan. He's your secondary goal scorer, but he's coming off, and admittedly, there's there's more games in 2026 than there was in previous years, but he's coming off a 48 goal season. It's his second best return ever, behind 2015 at the Bulldogs. Played every game. He seems to, I would then expect him to miss a bunch of games next year because he seems to do that. He goes back and forth. He is contracted. They don't want him. You'll get him for a pretend fake third round pick. And I think if you do, you're going to be happy with the return. I guess people will question the cultural fit because he seems to have drama everywhere he goes, but I'm not really interested in that. On the football field, he's going to generate, he's going to draw a defender, and he's going to kick goals, and that's a great thing, and he'll cost you nothing.
Well, here you are. Look, here is the Mitch Club Fit profile. So what this does here is it's showing you him versus Mitch McGovern should you sign him as a replacement. And you can see there the blue radar. The big difference is here is that you see the AFL size and strength, the body of work, he's better on one-on-one. And the Lucky 13, he's more lean towards the things that win. But look at the player quality. That's an absolute... See, Lekdog's nailed on. Roll, identical. But look at this. And look at the uplift potential. You are... And I agree. Look, no dickhead policy could be the problem. But... I'll tell you what, it's a great acquisition if you can get him, and it's going to cost you peanuts.
Yeah. He's your key forward in a pinch, but he's your second or third forward of reality and benefits from being that. I'm not worried. Unless he's buddy, no, I'm not even going to suggest anything. I'm not worried about the off-season stuff, off-field stuff.
Well, you know what? You know what I would say? I would say Collingwood probably. I know his off-field stuff is a nightmare. But I would say Collingwood do have history under McRae of sorting these problem cases out, don't they?
Yeah.
I would say that would be something they'd check. But I will say this. What I look at Jake Stringer, the stuff players like Liam Puncher would learn, playing on Jake Stringer, who is probably the most awkward fucker to play against, but also Charlie West will learn in the terms of the dark arts, could be worth it. I think Collingwood, look, I'm not 100% sold on buying old players all the time, but I can see the merit in it. And I think you've only got to look at, I don't want to give Collingwood too much kudos, but look at the late season development in some of their youngsters. I do think that's down to bringing in the experience, and the proof is look at Carlton, right? Look at Carlton.
I think you can bring in older players in the key positions, defense and forward, that don't require the agility or necessarily the tank. You just need the seasoned bodies. And Ritsujan, is he good against good teams and bad teams? Well, he kicked 5 against the Lions, 6 against the Crows, 6 against the Dockers, 7 against Melbourne. Not 7 against Melbourne, 1 against Melbourne, and 0 against Essendon. So he seems to be pretty good against the good teams. 4 against Hawks, 5 against Hawks. So, yeah.
Interesting that. Eddie said he won't be out there. What's Eddie got against Jake Stringer? I mean, look.
End up at Geelong, won't he?
You know what? If you said he was coming to Carlton, would I be pissed? Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't want him at Carlton because he's not that true key forward. I think we've already signed Gov for a year. We've got Kemp. I don't think he really solves the problem for us.
Well, I mean, the next one you're going to love, right? The next one is mental, right? And this is breaking now. It's come out of the Western Australia. Now, the Western Australia, I can tell you, are statistically the best at trade rumours. Like, they're very good. There is a report that GWS are about to launch a mammoth offer to prize Tim English out.
Seems strange to me.
Like, I think this is good. So the estimated trade cost is saying multiple picks with a debt of a late first, second rounder. So that's roughly about 1,000 points. So it's going to cost you a bit. He's contracted to 2029, so that's going to even increase the price even more. You see their high-value trade. So we're looking at the upper echelons, your Jeremy Camerons and things like that. A lot of teams looking for an out-and-out ruckman. Now, it's interesting with GWS, though, and this is why I think GWS is interesting. They've got Nick Madden, right? They've got Nick Madden. And if we do this, Tim English versus my boy, because Nick Madden is my boy, I would be all over Madden. Why is Madden not coming up? What have I done?
Nicholas.
It's Nicholas.
Yeah. Someone's saying he's 100% locked to move because his missus plays for the Sydney Swifts. Didn't we go through this with Treloar when his wife moved and everyone said, and then Collingwood tried to force him to move with her and then he stayed in Melbourne anyway? I don't think that's an indicator.
Well, you know what? I find this interesting because you look at here. So this is running a matrix here of Nicholas Madden, right? Look at this. So based on this year, right? Look at the radar chart.
It's very similar. I would say I'm assuming Nick Madden played less games than Tim English did.
So you're seeing what this is telling us here is two things, right? So what Tim English is very good at is the territory game, right? The territory game, where you look at Nick Madden, it's very similar to the game style that Kingsley plays. Now, what this doesn't tell you is, are they changing the game plan and is Nick Madden holding it back, which he could do. So you've got to use a little bit of logic in it. But it is quite interesting here that I find here that the moderate match of the fit brand, the brand of football, is saying that you'd have to change it. So this is this is one of them trades here that for the price, I would say this is stupid. Now, I find this quite interesting because I have heard this and I remember Treloar. It was Treloar, wasn't it? It was. Yeah. Thank you, Pixel. Like, I get it. Is this AFL gone mental, though? Like, I appreciate, look, I'm married, right? And if I was an AFL footballer, I'd want to go where my wife is. But fucking clubs blowing up their list budget. Because I look at GWS, and I'm going to be honest. Everyone says Collingwood have fallen off a cliff. I don't think anyone is talking about GWS have absolutely fallen off the cliff so hard they've headbutted the rock. And this is, I think this is mental, this management, because doggies ain't going to give this away.
They just signed Nick Madden to an extension to the end of 2030 as well, which is bizarre. I mean, maybe they're paying him backup ruckman money, but that seems to me like you're a ruckman.
Well, I mean, look, and I look at Sydney. I mean, look, let's have a look at Sydney. Like, if you look here with GWS's rating, look at the two Sydney clubs. That's a negative gear based on this year. So remember, English has had a bad year. It's not saying Madden is a worse footballer.
Yeah.
Right? It's saying that based on this year, and that's it. But -5, and then if you look at GWS, look, it's only a slight rise.
I mean, so, English is clearly a better player than Nick Madden, but
for now,
he's also 7 years older than him.
I will go on record. I am a big Nick Madden guy.
I think he's
Big
good.
Nick.
I think he's good. I think
Big
that's why GWS have signed him for a 4-year extension.
Like, but you are talking, this is going to be a trade. Like, like when people are like, oh, it's only going to be like, a little bit of pennies. It's going to be a fucking big deal to get him out there.
And then it leaves Dogs without a ruckman, and then they have to find a fill-in replacement ruckman. Yeah.
I'll give him Liam Reedy
for me.
I'll give him Liam Reedy for half of what GWS pay for Tim English.
Yeah, deal. I'll give him Liam Reedy for Buku.
Call me doggies. Do you know what I mean? But look, I think this is an incredible. Like, this management concussion spot on. I agree, Pixel. That look, I really like their team, but I've got reservations on Kingsley. I think Kingsley is the most protected coach in the AFL behind Ross the Boss. And I also think that their list management, they've just drafted players. Like, I don't think there is... It's weird. Their senior acquisitions don't match what they've drafted. It's like they want to play a run and stun game, but then they've just tried to cram slow, stodgy footballers. Makes no sense what they're doing. And I think Tim English, that says to me, it reminds me of the Petrarca deal at Gold Coast. It's like they're trying to kick a door open that isn't there to be kicked.
Sorry, I was 100% not listening to you for the last 20 seconds.
That's okay. I was basically saying their drafting makes no sense to what their list is. You see, I would say, I will go on record now. If Marshall ends up at the Doggies and GWS get that, the Doggies, someone needs to investigate them, because that is like, Power needs to be in prison. The list manager at Doggies. If that is the trade, he needs to be in prison.
Yeah, but what if then they'll get Zach Butters?
Mate, if they lose Tim English, get Rowan Marshall and Zach Butters, honestly, I am going to write to the King personally saying I want a royal investigation in the Doggies list management, and I also want him arrested. And while he's there, can you check out Geelong? Shout out Shane. The next one, this is a bit of a St Kilda one, right? And this one's a really fascinating one. But rumours are Rowan Marshall is going to request a trade again. And Sam De Koning is going to be the asking price. This has got Stephen Silvani written all over it.
Get the brothers together.
Mate, selling a player that you've openly not fucking wanted and then asking for one of their best players.
Who arguably your team doesn't actually need.
like this one is mental. So we'll start with Sam De Koning. Now, I am not sure what's going on here with Sam De Koning, but I think this guy is a very good footballer. And I feel like he's a bit like Rowan Marshall. I think he's very undervalued in the AFL sphere, because I think Sam De Koning's been played out of position by, with all due respect to Chris Scott, I think he is a pure key back. And I think he's having to fuck about in the ruck through necessity. I really
think
like
his
Sam.
Brother's a key back too, just quietly. I've said that for years.
I think he's an absolute supreme footballer. And you can see St Kilda, it's quite interesting. Just because of the way they use Carl Wilkie, they do want a very good lockdown defender. And Sam De Koning's one-on-one is absolutely phenomenal. So, like, SDK, I can see it. I don't think it's a priority for St Kilda, but
does that mean Jack Silvani's goes back to being a forward?
Well, I mean, you look at Ross, he likes to play three tall players. So I think you just play Jack Silvani as that loose Josh Battle light. SDK, fullback, Cal Wilkie doing the intercept role. I don't mind it. I do think they need a lot of outside run, though.
I'm not massive on SDK, but that's just because I kind of don't like over-investing in sort of key defenders. But if theoretically Tom De Koning is your starting ruckman, and if theoretically Jack Silvani is your third tall, I think theoretically Sam De Koning could be a half-decent second tall. I think I do think the Saints would struggle with that back line, to be honest with you. I think they'd struggle. with medium and small forwards.
I'm with you. I think they really need to increase their attacking output. DD, what I'm saying is I think the doggies have killed it. I'm saying what you're saying. I think the doggies win that deal all day. I think GWS are committing list Harry Carry. Can't say the other word. I have to say Japanese words. Otherwise, YouTube ban me for promoting it. But yeah, so I mean that's that. Look, I'm a big SDK man, but let's just have a look at Rowan Marshall because I'm a big Rowan Marshall boy. So Rowan Marshall here. So it's saying Richmond until we get confirmation. Richmond will always pop up on key defenders, but it's quite interesting here. You look at teams that are looking for that type of player. Just about look at this. Everyone bar Hawthorn and Sydney exponentially improve. Like my algorithm rates Rowan Marshall in the upper echelon of ruckman. Like
Romar's good.
Like upper echelon of ruckman. And let's have a look. Saints, if Saints sell Rowan Marshall, I think that. Look, I say it all the time. I think they've just gone. I think the TDK, not disparaging him. You can trust me because I don't have clout and bias when I talk about this. I think TDK, they're going to come to regret it because I actually think they've got a better version of TDK on their books.
I like mass debate.
Her.
Suggesting Kangas. I think actually that's would
brilliant.
Be a great spot for him to land. Right age profile. He'd become their number one key defender.
That's exactly what they need as well, key.
Yeah, I really like that for them. And no double dummy, you can't have Harry Dean. You can't have Harry Dean.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, double dummy. Doggies always do that really well as well. Always do trades really well. But Rowan Marshall, I mean, I think, I would love, look, Shane, I love you. And look, Geelong do my head in, but I'll be honest. I kind of want to see Geelong with a quality ruckman because I've never seen them with a good ruckman. Like, I'm intrigued if it would work.
Maybe it'd all fall to shit.
No, but it's like Collingwood. Like, part of me wants them to sign a top 10 key forward because I've never seen them with an elite key forward. So I kind of want to see what it looks like.
It'd be intriguing.
I mean, can we just talk about this? Rowan Marshall and, like, just imagine it. Rowan Marshall and Zach Butters in that team and Toby Green.
Ugh, sickening, isn't it?
Like, fuck me. But what do you reckon that trade looks at? I'll ask you, Lekdog, and chat. Let's say Geelong agree and SDK says, okay, I'm willing to go. How much, one, is SDK worth on his own? And two, if he's involved in a Rowan Marshall trade, what does that trade look like, do you think?
Now, that's interesting because I think right now Rowan Marshall's a better player, but he's also almost a decade older. So I'm just pulling up Rowan Marshall's. So Marshall's got 1 year left on his contract. What does Sam De Koning's contract situation, anyone? I'm pulling it up now.
Okay.
So he is contracted through until also the end of 2027. So he's he'll be 26. Rowan Marshall will be 31, so it's only 5 years difference. Rowan Marshall's currently the better player, but he's younger. I actually think it'd be Rowan Marshall and like a fake second round pick for SDK, even though I think Rowan Marshall's the better player without knowing their salary cap situations. So yeah, that's what I don't think it'd be a straight swap, and I don't think you'd be getting something back if you're St Kilda.
Yes, it needs investigating. Atouche, down by.
What am I saying?
Say it.
De Koning?
To be fair, he is actually saying it the proper way. Because it's Dutch, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're just heathens. We're just heathens. Like De Koning. We're just... If you went over there, they would like slap you. It's like Van Gerwen. It's not actually Van Gerwen. It's something else. I can't remember what it is. but I remember watching the darts in the UK.
Oh, Michael van Gerwen.
Yeah, but it's not actually pronounced Gerwin if you're Dutch. And
it's probably like, no, I'm not going to attempt.
It's like Hawin or something like that. It's like fucking weird. So, mate, when I was at university, I had a few Deconings. I need sound effects. You know what? I'm trying to think of this. Like for me, I would say in the AFL world, SDK is worth more.
Yeah.
But in the AFL, Rowan Marshall is probably more valuable. If you're actually, like, to me, because I agree with Shane, I think Connor O'Sullivan has gone past him. But I think in reality, if you said to me, you're in the draft and you can get Rowan Marshall's ability for 3-4 years versus Sam De Koning's potential for 10, I'm probably going Rowan Marshall.
Yeah. I mean, I think Rowan Marshall's the better player of the two, but I just think when you factor in contract and age, I'd love to see the rare single player for single player swap, but I don't think it's happened for about 25 years.
Yeah, we're never getting that in the AFL because we'll pretend. We'll pretend. It should happen. Look, I see that, Marion, but again, back to like the data point, it's not really worth it, is it? Like, in my humble opinion, I don't think it's up there. Hey, Beer Bad, can you hear us? We're live. We're live and uninterrupted. But then we're going to go now. We're going to end the show with my favourite thing. And today, my boy was staying at your area. I actually can't stand this, right? So the AFL has allowed this Category B rookie thing. And if you listen to Greg Swan when he brought it in, the idea was we know that the grassroots of football, Indigenous pathways, it's harder to get in. We want to do it. Sounded brilliant in reality. Already we've got Gresham, Zach Williams, and all these guys linked to it. But Isaac Keeler got delisted today. So Category B, you could do it. Now, I'm going to go straight cab. Fawcett got delisted, another guy worth looking at. If I'm Carlton, I'm Isaac Keeler in this up. Big star.
I mean, you and me are big Isaac Keeler men, and
he's my boy.
Look, I'll read out some reviews I got from him today when I asked the question about him, because I said I'm going to pour one out for him, and the St Kilda fans responded. He would drop the glass if you poured it out. He played one half of football in his career. He can't mark. So they weren't big on him, but I would say this. As a Cat B investment or whatever the official Indigenous category is, he's a tall player who showed some signs in VFL the last couple of years, less so this year. I think he's worth a punt just to have develop on your list for essentially free for a year. He's typically like your pinch hitting. He's what Lewis Young is in our team, in theory.
Well, to look at his VFL numbers, he's basically Hudson O'Keefe, but he's played down the back. But his numbers are better up forward, playing more time down the back. I actually don't mind this.
SARS, he has gone back as well. SARS, you can already be on an AFL list. You just have to be on you have to move to a different team to go on the list, and that's to stop people putting Zach Williams and Jade Gresham directly on their rookie list, which is not the point of the thing.
Well, the AFL has completely botched this up. Like the whole idea, like the theory when you hear the announcement was that we're going to get junior players. It was almost like state league, to give clubs chance to develop these players. And straight away, we've been linked with it. But Isaac Keeler, I actually think this is an intriguing prospect. Like, I would genuinely take a punt on this guy. Like, genuinely have a little pop at Keeler. Because I actually think there's something there. There is some... I think there's something there. Look, and I agree, Caden. Look, I'd rather take a punt on Isaac than an Irish kid. I think I'd have a look at this guy, and I was actually surprised he got delisted because I thought there was something there.
Yeah, 100%. I think, and maybe it's just because I drafted him in a dynasty league, but I think there's something there. He's tall. It takes a while for them to come on. I think you could have worse players sitting on your VFL list than him.
Hey, Brando, much love, mate. I know you're a big fan. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. But let's have a look at the other guys that are on this list. Jade Gresham. Tough, this is one for you. Expected to be delisted. He hasn't hit the contract, so he has a silent contract extension. Evidently, Essendon have made sure he hasn't hit it. That's why he's played the VFL games. Very interesting here. Jade Gresham evidently has upped from reports up to 11 teams have evidently made an initial.
Oh, right, because he's a free list spot.
Cat B, yeah.
Can I say?
Would you take him?
No. I don't often like pan players on this sort of content, but I remember when the Bombers signed him and Ben Mackay, I was so harsh on them. I was like, terrible investment. What are you doing? And they were like, no, we've got the salary cap. It's fine. We need to pay someone. Why not these guys? And now Essendon fans hate both of those players. Jay Gresham's not good, man. And it's not a bad thing. He's just not good. And I don't want him on a list. I don't want a 29 turning 30-year-old player on my Cat B rookie list who's not going to play senior footy for me and doesn't really do anything at the level anyway. So that's my hot take. I don't think he's good.
So to answer your question, Pixel, the AFL have announced it's got the same rules as the rookie B, maximum of 5 years. So they can stay on for the 2 years provided they don't play. They can have an extension if it's over 10 senior games. So up to 3 years at the minute, which is crazy. So I'll let that sink in for 3 years. Cyril Rioli out. That's it. You still rate him. Look, I'm going to be honest. Like Jade Gresham, I mean, look, if you look at the teams he's linked with, it makes sense. West Coast, Richmond, Port Adelaide, North. Now, Tough, correct me if I'm wrong, and Rich Ewan, I am told that he's an incredible tutor and an incredible, like, work ethic at the football club. So if you had young talent, like, it could work. This is what makes me sick about the Category B. Like, if it was being used for, you've got an NGA and you can just pre-list him like we do with the Cat Bs anyway, and it was just dedicated for that, I'd be all for it. If it was for Kane Bevan and players like that who are not in the AFL and they're playing and okay. But this is just another loophole to hang on to, with due respect to Jay Gresham, list cloggers.
Yeah. He's not good. I don't know what else there is. He's had 3 coaches votes since he moved to Essendon across 50-ish games.
Yeah, and I agree, Tough. To me, it annoys me because the other guy linked as well. And you know what? I actually got some feedback today, evidently North for one of the teams, but Zach Williams has been linked. Now, Zach Williams is quite highly rated in this system, as it's still saying he's a general defender, though, so he really likes his slingshot. You see here, North Melbourne actually are one of the teams who are linked with him. You'll see Hawthorn linked a lot. Again, before Double Dummy comes at me, it's looking at metrics of his style of football. This is what it's saying. So Hawthorn, few injuries on that general defender row in slingshots. But you look at him here, like, this is, again, like, I love Zach Williams, but again, should these be the types of players that are going on the Cat B?
No, if they're going to enforce it, they should have really considered this and gone, there's an age cap or a cap or something like that. They've half-assed it. I like Zach Williams as well, but I also have the same issues with him as other players. He misses a lot of footy. I guess it doesn't matter if it's your last Cat B spot, but it's clearly not the purpose of the system. It's clearly not the purpose of the system.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I've said this about the rookie list as well. Like, for me, I want to see young talent. You're right, Hotkey. How you doing, mate? You know what I'd like to see in the AFL? I'd like to see the rookie be VFL players, state league players, second chance, the opportunity to be a draftee. Like, bring the veteran list back.
If you're gonna have the veteran thing, bring back the veteran thing. By the way, great article on the AFL website today about Austin Wunamiri, who used to play for Melbourne, and talks about how hard it is for Indigenous players to make AFL level, why they need extra support. Like, there's one shop on the island he lives at, that sells food. Like, there's one shop, that's it, and he still managed to make it to footy. So that's why it's a good thing. But taking the piss out of it is not.
Thank you, Slobber. Much love. He will throw hands. He certainly will. My issue, my real issue with all the rookie lists, like, the fact we can delist a senior player and then relist him, is we should have onus on the AFL that once you draft a player, he's either good enough or he's not. And if you've made a mistake, guess what? Tough tit, right? You're an idiot. It's a competition, and you make a choice. You shouldn't be allowed a loophole to kind of commit to the player and not. And that's how the rookie list is used. And then we've got all these young players really, really struggling to get AFL games who are probably talented enough, but we'd rather keep, like, no offense to Zach Williams, but we'd rather keep him on the list than a prime footballer. Makes no sense to me.
No.
Like, and I could be harsh, but, like, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really like the Indigenous loophole anyway. Like, I actually would like to see the category be destroyed, and you just have 8 rookie spots, and you can choose to allocate that to up to 4 veterans, but as a minimum requirement, 4 of them have to be under 21 to encourage AFL teams to take kids and make decisions on senior players, force trades. Like, that's where I am. But if you look at Zach Butters, quickly to answer you see here a lot of teams here. Collingwood is like the numero uno destination, but no doubt about it, Zach Butters improves every team. Like, Geelong are top 10 as well. Doggies are there, as you can see. Like, the only knock on Zach Butters is the obvious one. He doesn't kick goals, right? He doesn't kick goals, but look at him. Like,
he's a beast.
And you're looking at here, look, 2 first rounders as a debt, and and a sweetener. It's going to be interesting, this. Like, I don't know how Geelong do it.
I don't know how they do it.
Do you know what I mean? Riley, you misunderstand. It's just the link. It's just which she fits.
Yeah.
Riley, breathe, mate, breathe. You've got a fake profile, so that says to me in real life you wouldn't throw hands, so never speak the actions you don't. Remember, I'm from the north of England, so we're worth about 5 of you. But yeah, Zach Butters. I really like Zach Butters. I think it's a good acquisition. I mean, can I ask a question? And this is for anyone. Port fans, when people are saying they need first rounders this year, you've got to remember there's Dougie Cochran. So I actually think Port might be one of the only teams that would take futures, because they don't want a fuckload of picks to on-trade. And, I just don't see it.
But they want decent futures, right? You don't want Geelong's futures.
I mean, you say that, but Jeremy Cameron went.
Yeah, I know. It's true. It's true.
Like for some reason, I don't know where I am legally on the grey area of speculating farms. Don't know where I am. Don't want to be sued, but I also don't care. But, like,
we know how they can afford him. We don't know how they can pay another club for him.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, you look at all these clubs here. Like, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. If I was McVeigh, I'd be doing it. I'd be screaming. If I was Richmond, I'd be screaming. I think he ends up at the Doggies anyway, just to end the argument. But even with the Doggies picks, I don't get how he, like... Because if you take the comp, you're an idiot.
No, you can't.
You could, if you didn't have Dougie, it'd be all right. You could maybe make an argument, but I
you
feel
have to
like this
match.
is. I look, fair play, fair play. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But where do you think he'll end up, Lekdog? So we're going to be doing the trade. Where are we going to talk about him being there?
Oh, it's tough, man. I really, where do I'm going to say Richmond, and not because I think that that'll actually happen, just because I think that's the one that I like the most. It's the most out there one. He'd have the most impact immediately at that club. I think the Doggies in Geelong is both pretty boring. I'm going to say Richmond, but it's I would like Richmond to be the answer. That's what I'm going to say.
Do you reckon pick one would be involved in that deal as well?
Well, I'll say this: if you were Port and you got offered just straight pick one for him, would you do it?
No,
because I probably would.
Really? I mean, look, I'd do pick one and like a future first with maybe a future second coming back. But I mean, I'd look at it this way.
The steak knives, I would take pick one. I'd bid on Cody Walker if I was Port. Then I'd take I don't know, whoever, Van Hatten, whoever's the best next available. Then I get my guy, and I get the end of first round bonus pick.
Yeah, and as Pixel says, they have got other father sons in this. They've got NGA talent. So yeah, I mean, look, I would pick one. It would be sick, but yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's an interesting one. Like, it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be fascinating. But chat, that is all we've got time for. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you very much. If you do find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or email PommyInOzYT@gmail.com, if you've got any trade rumours or ones you want us to deep dive, we can do that. We're doing this every week. Love you all to pieces. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the Legends game. I'll be live tomorrow. It's Collingwood Doggies tomorrow, and then Carlton Melbourne Saturday. So I'll be doing all that. Love you all to pieces, though. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you next week.